The biggest issue you have right off the bat is limited resources.
Emergency responders are deployed on the Purdue campus this morning. Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Smith.
And I'm Nicole Kahn. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Well, sirens sounded and guns were drawn on Purdue's campus this morning.
Text messages and email alerts were also sent out. Aaron Leedy is here to explain just what happened on campus this morning. Aaron?
Well, luckily, those sirens and alerts were not part of a real emergency. Instead, it was a simulation designed to test emergency responders. Guns were drawn as police, fire, and EMS personnel were dispatched to the Purdue University Airport Wednesday. Purdue was simulating an emergency to test the response and preparedness of those units. Purdue Police Chief John Cox says it's important all responders know how to handle multiple roles.
You know, in this particular case, I was out of town and not available. And so that puts people in positions that they typically aren't in these situations and forces them to make decisions. And it just tests the process.
The test featured an assault by armed gunmen and was designed to be similar to the Virginia Tech tragedy in 2007. Purdue spokesperson Gene Norberg says the university is one of 14 in the country to have its own police, fire, and EMS units.
It's very important that our people drill so that when something happens and they have to make decisions very quickly, they'll be ready.
The university made every effort to make sure that Wednesday's test was like the real thing. Text messages, emails, outdoor sirens were activated just like they would be if the situation were real. The emergency test was paid for by a grant from the Department of Homeland Security. This is the first time in almost 10 years Purdue has performed a drill of this size. Fire Chief Kevin Ply says this test was a first that allowed on-site triage tactics to be used.
Purdue University is a very safe community, but we have to practice on these worst-case scenarios in case something like this ever did happen.
We put a real-life stress on our resources, and it shows you where you may have some weaknesses in your resources, and it shows you where you have some strengths. So,
Chief Cox says a debriefing was held shortly after the drill was over so everyone could go over the results. He says final results won't be available until later this week. Aaron Leedy, News Channel 18.